Hi there, it's Emilio from ADL Design and Build. So today we're going to film some content in our current project at 61 Skinner Hill in Putney, and we will have a video walk around of the whole project as well as a part 2 video showing all the works that have been conducted to date. So please follow me and I'll show you a bit more inside. In this specific project, we've done a rear and a side extension. And then at the side, we went one further story up to further extend the room above. So if you can come with me. And now we are into the space, which is a very, very good space. So this rear extension was designed more as a TV area, more like a snug. So again, the client just recently moved in the house and they still settling in into the new space. So bit of furniture, the TV will go there, flat roof, fixed skylight. And then if you can come in here, you can see that this is the dining area. Again, just a few elements remaining for us to do inside the property. Porcelain tiles, modern skirting, and this was a bespoke kitchen. So if you were to come along, so as we walk in the inside of the space, you can see that this back wall in here, if you could show, this was the rear element of the existing house. So all of these is the new back extension. And then in line with these, you could see approximately at this point, as we go on the outside, was the side wall existing. So we extended simultaneously at the back and at the side so that it could create a amazing space for our customers where they could have a very wide kitchen with a feature island, feature extractor, and feature lighting to have a nice cooking space, full height kitchen units, American fridge freezer, quartz worktop, such an amazing space really with the porcelain tiles. So another feature of the building process of this project is that in part two, I'll show you the process itself within this video, but the actual existing level of this area, which is the square, where was the existing kitchen, it was 170 mil higher than the hallway. So what we've done in here, which is again, since it's a project that we are very much almost at completion and we still need to finish a few elements here, there was a step going up by 170. So we built a whole new subfloor with underfloor heating and screed and a whole concrete subfloor that made these two become flush. So in here, the glazers are going to install a feature double door, Crystal style, fire rated, which then will create the separation between the hallway and the new space. Now, another bit of detail that we've done about this new partition that we built is that since this is going to be a very modern fashion, we didn't want to have an architrave or something a bit more traditional, but instead what we've done, we fitted a shadow gap detail, which is what then allows the plasterboard to meet with the door frame, the fire-rated door frame, and not crack in the future. And this is the space. So the kitchen was a really big feature of this project. Now, our clients didn't want to have a kitchen that has a gap from the tall unit to the ceiling. So again, as we built the subfloor level with the main house, then we had to also coordinate the height of the ceiling to make sure that everything is floor to ceiling and provides them that very luxurious and high-end finish that they wanted because they were really interested in not having a gap on top of the kitchen. And this is the space. So again, porcelain tiles, a pop-up socket that came with the kitchen, which makes a very good feature, especially because the cabinetry from here have doors, so additional storage. So actually organizing for a pop-up socket was a smart move. Another feature of this kitchen that we coordinated during the building process was actually that since this is the line of the existing house, we built this new extension, and then as we were doing the brickwork, we needed to coordinate already without having a finished floor nor a finished ceiling. We needed to get very accurate. If you come a tiny bit closer, we needed to get very accurate on calculating where the finished floor was going to be to make sure that then the quartz was calculated with the brickwork outside to make sure that we would provide them with an additional worktop area into the window. That was a feature that they were really interested about. So this was a very key feature that our customers really wanted to incorporate in their design and in the building project, as well as then having a quite minimalistic upstand, so no splashback tiles, especially because then the actual splashback area will be towards the window, which can then get easily cleaned. And then this is the cooking area with the extractor and all of the lighting and the feature of the extractor, all the cutleries. They went for a very nice finish of walnut and a very nice modern handless this kitchen. Then we've got here the two units, which then present our ovens, and then a cupboard in here with the switch and the socket as well that creates these are very, very practical. So when it comes to kitchens, it's very important to make sure they're practical. You can work within the space as well as family in your day to day, but most importantly, when you have guests over and making sure that is a space that lasts and is a space that you enjoy being in as a homeowner who actually then decided to do a major renovation project. Then as part of this design, what we've done, because since this is all the side extension, which we will see from outside better, we then incorporated a utility room. Now here we built a sliding door. So the frame of the sliding door is actually integrated in the partition and it slides very well, which creates a space where obviously as part of the technical design and we were specifying which door to go for this specific threshold in between the kitchen and the utility. We didn't want the swing of the door to either be on the kitchen side or the utility side. And the utility worked out pretty well. So as I said, the kitchen itself and the room itself has been just about started to be utilized by our customers. Hopefully you can see, so these were the units of the utility with a sink, some more storage and cupboards. And then in here is the whole plant room done by our specialist gas engineer, which then provides with the hot water cylinder tank and a brand new system boiler, which was a very much upgrade for a house of this size, which is a 5-bedroom detached home with 3 bathrooms. So really did improve quite a lot the hot water pressure and everything else. So here's another feature of this amazing kitchen. Now, this was a new partition that we built to then actually separate the utility to the kitchen. And then since all of this kitchen has been made to size, then what we've done, we coordinated with the kitchen supply and all the dimensions to make sure that we would allow enough space for this additional cabinetry unit that was incorporated into this area, more as a pantry. But another very interesting feature of these is that these are sliding door that pocket in. So if if you want it open, you keep it open. If you like it closed, you keep it closed. But really, it does make a difference in having that additional storage space for the kitchen itself. So again, push button, and then it goes out, and then it clicks in. No, it's and then it clicks in just like that, and it stays open throughout with all the drawers, open shelving, and walnut finish. This is an amazing area as well when it comes to entertaining guests, etc. So as I mentioned, this is a new space for our customers. It's just been literally a few, maximum 1 or 2 weeks that they started then settling back in as we were finishing the outdoor works. And I thought we'd do a recording of this video at this stage where I can show you what we've done so far as well as what's remaining to do in terms of building works. And then the TV space is actually one of the main features of the overall extension. They wanted to have a very open and glazed area to make sure that when going through the design process, we're considering to maybe take a bit more of the garden and all of these elements. But since they were valuing a lot the garden space as well, we then decided to just refrain the kitchen extension to this side at the back, so not to widen it up. But most importantly, since this is a detached house, there was an opportunity to then create a corner feature because it's something that's only possible when it's a semi-detached or an actual detached house. And obviously, because if it's a terrace, then you can't quite have glazing towards the side. But really, these did create a big feature. It was something that our clients were very excited about, especially during the building process, on the way that we designed them to keep this corner as minimalistic as possible in our technical design phase and the building phase. And they too are oversized doors, 2.3 meters high. So they are not the standard height, which again was a feature. Since then, the garden then starts being quite high. They didn't want to have just a 2.1 glass element so that they could see more into the garden when being in the TV room during the day or during the evening. If you follow me, I will show you the first floor extension that we've done above this space in here, which then meant that the bedroom upstairs then would be extended. So we will walk around. I will show you from the inside, as well as when we go on the outside, I will show you how it looks. Please come with me. So here's the bedroom that we extended. Please come on in. So if you can see, the existing house was finishing on this area here, and we installed a column sitting onto the side box frame below and the beam sitting on the wall to make sure that then this room gets extended. So when we go on the outside, you will be able to see that the two dormers are finished in lead. It's a very, very outstanding finish externally. And then again, in terms of remaining works on this room, finishing off some second fix electrics, carpeting the room, and then this is ready for use. So if you could see the two dormers, the paint selection color was quite unique. They went for a more creamy style, which creates a very, very good feature when you look at it from this perspective on the coving, the white coving. And we also organized for a fitted wardrobe and then slightly boxed in at the bottom to make it as a floor to ceiling wardrobe. And then again, fire escape window. And then in here is the storage that goes on to the roof of the utility below. So again, this overall design, and I wanted to touch base on the actual hallway and the connection between the inside and outside. Of course, as I mentioned in the previous part of the video, there is going to be a door, there is going to be a threshold bar between the carpet, which is going to have a new flooring in here, a transition bar, and a new flooring in the hallway. The overall design of actually enlarging these as much as possible was so that could create that connection between the old side of the house and the new, which then creates a very welcoming wow factor. For first of all, for our clients as they enjoy the property every day, but for any guest coming, it's something that stands out from the entrance door as soon as coming in into the space itself. Let's have a walk around again on the outside. So this view again goes into a bit more focus on the outdoor design of the extension itself. So the overhang was a big part of the project, which in phase two we will show more about how we set out the joists to make sure that the finished product was created, how we did a warm deck roof and kept it to an element of balance between overhang itself and thickness of the roof too. But most importantly, really, you could get to see now how the design of these extension at the rear, which then will walk around and go to the side, was proposed in a manner to make sure that the new still slightly blends with the old in terms of overall color of the silicone render finish, but most importantly, although it slightly blends with it, the whole purpose was for the extension at the rear to create a very big separation when it comes to actually making sure that it does look modern and it is modern. And the corner feature as well within the two glazing is being cladded in zinc, then having all the eco drain and the Indian sandstones really did provide that finished product that our customers were looking for in this specific project. So here we just recently completed the landscaping of this area. As you can see, the silicone render has been done. And then our client asked us to put back these glass shed on a sharp sand base and some shingles. Eco drains have been run all along. And then this was the existing part of the house, as well as this is the new built extension, which is at the rear. In this specific project, we've had an overhang detail with spotlights that provided them with some additional light as in the evenings. Is a project that we are nearing in completion. So we still need to do a few second fix electrical connections in here. But we just about completed the landscaping and the Indian sandstones. And this was another feature of the project of having two oversized glass elements, 2.3 meters tall, with a corner feature that can be potentially visible a little bit better if you were to maybe go a tiny bit higher up. Then gives a bit more of a visual representation on how the design of this specific extension was made. So it's a 4.6 meters deep, and then it goes all the way to the side, and then it wraps on the other side where we extended the kitchen and the utility room. So if you would come with me. So now we're gonna walk around through the side and actually show from the land to the side how the first floor side extension looks. So please come with me. Okay, so now we're on the side extension. We were previously inside, so you could see the actual dormers from inside. So as you could see, that was the line when the previous roof was ending. Now what we've done, we extended the same inclination of the roof to come up until here. So here is the actual roof above the utility room that we were inside first. Whereas from this line onwards is the actual roof above the kitchen itself, which then creates the extension to the first floor bedroom that we were previously in. all tiles matching existing, render very close to the existing, all the features. So now we all connected the gutters upstairs. All we need to do is just to connect the gutter on the utility room roof, and the outdoor works will be shortly fully completed. So as part of our contract, we had some work to do in the garage. So if you come with me, I will show you. So this was the old garage, and this is part of the works that we, obviously this is being a site, we're still working on. So the flank wall is being reinforced. We did underpin the footings below, removed the old concrete slab, which was not level, and we built a new subfloor concrete level from the front to the bottom. And then as part of the remaining works, we will, all of these being a very old two-story extension from, let's say, 40 or 50 years ago, we have been appointed by our customers within our contract to actually reinforce the structure of this garage, which was built by previous builders. So as you can see, there are an element of cracks that we have been appointed as part of our program to fix. So we're going to use heli-fix crack stitching, which simply involves in opening up the mortar joints and replacing them with steel bars and then with resin. So that's part of the works which is actually going to take place next week, as well as within the next week's works, we are going to build a small conservatory in these areas, more like a potting shed, which will be connected to the garage from here. Fine. So this is the area of the new conservatory slash potting shed that we are going to build. So we're going to build a wall in here. We're going to build all of the subfloor up in here to connect them through steps with the garage. Then all of these will be glazed. It'll have a glass roof, and then we're going to build a double leaf block work in here with a parapet, which then is going to create the final element of our contract and our scope of work remaining on this specific project.